Hello and welcome to Kicking Kickstarter. With me, Jackals. I am here with Carlton Solle to talk about the Kickstarter project Treeson, the bottle that can save the planet. So tell us a bit about the background and what inspired you to make Treeson.
I ended up in Costa Rica and was out at the beach one day with my family and we actually ran across a bunch of bottles that actually washed up on the shore. And I had been involved in the beverage business, had done some stuff with some energy drinks, and actually done some stuff up in, we used to be in the nightclub business in San Francisco with Red Bull. Well, and then later in Central America, I had done some stuff with another energy drink. And I started thinking about it. It just seemed this problem, existed, and that what seemed was a real problem. So I started thinking and came up with this crazy idea that, what if we could turn something bad into something good? And started researching water, went trekking off into the jungle, going to all these springs and learning the difference between water that's actually at the source and water that's on the shelf, water that comes out of the tap. What are all these different things that a lot of us we never even think about. When you get water, if you have the luxury of getting water out of the tap, you just don't even think about it. You don't think, okay, where did this start? Like, where did this water, how many miles did it take to get to my house? Or what has it been through to get here? What kind of chemicals are in it? What kind of stuff have they done to clean it or purify it? If you can't drink it, then you know pretty well that bottled water for you isn't actually a choice. It's a necessity, which is actually the case for, now I just had an article come out yesterday that they were quoting that 1 in 3 people in the world doesn't have access to safe, clean tap water. So it's a major problem that I think, you don't give, a lot of the approach has been, let's guilt trip these people into doing something. Let's, try to give them this tool like refillable or water bottle that's all metal and cool and, But if you don't have water, it doesn't really work. You gotta have water to start with that piece. So that's like a solution that fits for some other people. But ours was, the idea was to give, the rest, the majority, the first good, sustainable choice to actually, drink water.
Yeah, and
which they tell me is what everything is made of.
yes, indeed, it is.
It's a very important thing. So.
Yeah, everything's made out of it, but it's hard to come by sometimes.
Yeah, and the other stuff is the trash component, which to me, a lot of people, I think, when you're in a city and you're not by the water, the U.S., here in the United States, we do an excellent job of hiding the trash. I mean, the trash just disappears. It's like this mystery thing that, poof, it's gone and you don't know where it goes. And actually, there's all this stuff happening behind the scenes that you think you take, a half an hour to go and sort and stick in the bins and do all your good. You've done your great thing for the planet, and then, away it goes. And then you find out it might not even get recycled. And, who knows where it goes. It could end up on a barge. It could end up in some other country. It could end up in, no idea,
Africa, I think, mainly.
Yeah.
I saw a documentary a couple of weeks ago where they went to Africa and they showed all the waste products from America, all the computers, the fridges, the components just in a big landfill full of chemicals and poisons, and there's 5-6-year-olds just digging through it,
doing all this stuff. That's one of the things that I went through the other day with somebody that I was talking to, was that they were like, well, what about the refillable bottles? And I go, if I go to a neighborhood in Honduras, like a bad neighborhood in Honduras, and give one of these kids one of these metal, refillable bottles, he's going to go and take it, he's going to sell it for scrap, to buy food, to buy a bag of water, not even a bottle, and a bag of chips and a Coke. And then he's going to throw it all basically in the river, and, it's going to be trash. And the cycle just keeps on going, and it's only getting worse. understand. I mean, these things aren't getting better; they're getting worse, and it's time to kind of change the thought process. And that's where I was sitting on the beach and I was like, hey, what if we did this? What a crazy, wacky idea to take responsibility for your packaging. To me, as a company, if you're selling something, I mean, you sell a phone. If there's something bad with it, you bring it back. We're selling the water inside. The packaging is the stuff that traditionally is bad. So our goal is to turn it into something good, not only give you the best water for you and your family, but also the best, packaging for the planet, basically.
Well, before we go...
I just want to answer.
Yeah. Well, before we go on to the packaging, until I saw your Kickstarter project, I hadn't actually heard of the Pacific... Garbage patch, that's it. I hadn't heard of it at all, and it's huge, especially when you see it next to a bit of Texas, the state of Texas. You compare it to the state of Texas, and then it's about five times the size.
There's not just one anymore. There's now like 5.
Really?
Yes, and they're just floating all over the place and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And, out of sight, out of mind. It's like what it is, until you bump into that stuff or until you run across it, you're like, oh, geez, I didn't realize this was happening, So
how does the packaging work to help?
So the way that it works basically is when you're done with a bottle, you flip it over and you basically collapse it. It goes flat. And then there's a label on the back that you peel back. You take out your mobile phone, you scan it, and then you drop it in the mail. And actually you can track it with our app right back to us, so and you can guarantee that it's been, delivered. And with that, you can actually see how much energy you helped create. So you'll be able to keep all your bottles, and see the impact overall in what we call your carbon corner on our app. And then in addition, once you've done that, you can pull down a tree, because we plant one tree for every bottle. So you can pull down the tree, put it in your profile, you can name it, you can share it with your friends. So you've got this whole profile filled with trees that you're doing on the other side, right on your phone, that you can see the impact and all the great stuff these trees are doing. Every 3 months, we'll send you, because we have to go from the front to the back when we're planting them. So we'll send you another picture, so you can actually watch your tree grow, at the same time. So that was the other thing with this for me, is that I am the ultimate skeptic. There's a lot of products out there that are saying they're doing stuff. There's a lot of people that throw all these badges all over the labels. They stick all these certs on there, and before long, organic, natural, this, that, like, oh my gosh, this thing, it must be so good. Who knows? But at the end of the day, half of it, they're all trying to get you to do something. I kind of come from a place where the actions speak louder than words. I'm not much of a talker. I just focused on building the thing right so that it would do what it needs to do. And that's what the app is designed for, to show you firsthand and to make you a part of it. Because the power of this product is when it is in your hand. Because at that point, you have a choice. So you have a choice whether you can just put it right back in the regular trash. And if you do that, you're still doing good stuff, because we're planting a tree and it's actually a better packaging than the packaging that exists. And that's fine. But we give you the option to do more and do the complete cycle. So if you want to jump on board and return it, then we can do that. It's just kind of giving you the first choice, which these people haven't had. But it's your choice. It's not somebody else on the outside or anybody else doing it.
So, is it just the packaging that you're doing, or is it the water inside as well that you're sourcing as well?
It's the whole package.
It is.
The water inside. So the difference with the water, what I learned, and that was kind of the difficult thing of this whole project, has been, and it's been 5 years. I mean, I've been deep in this for a long time, but is that there's multiple pieces to it, and because it's a new thing, it doesn't fit into one of those little boxes that everybody likes to put things in. Okay, so what is your thing? Your thing fits in this box and it's called a beverage. Your thing fits in this box, it's called packaging. Your thing fits in this box and it's an app, you know. So which one is it? Oh, it's all three? Ooh, you know, it's like it's too much for people to, you know, and sometimes, so we actually did it, approached it with the first kind of base level so people could get to know everything about it, and then we've got a bunch more stuff that will follow. But as far as water, like we said before, you know, it is an essential thing for everyone, you know, to live healthy lives. And, you know, they go from, depending on which reports you read, it's from 6 to 8, you know, cups a day that you're supposed to keep inside your body. Well, it gets more difficult with the tap water. Where we are here in Houston, Texas, I can't drink tap water. It's just not good. There's a bunch of funky stuff in it. I have on the Kickstarter page, it's a fun thing that, you know, is another one of those actions speak louder than words things, where you put, if you take tap water and you take spring water, and if you've got a dog, you put them on the floor side by side. See which one your dog takes. See which one they will naturally go to every time. They'll go to the one that is the natural spring water, because that is the best water for you, like Mother Nature intended it to be. So what we did was everything, which you don't kind of think about, like I was saying earlier with water, is that as soon as the water leaves that source, and one of the crazy things about filters and water in general is that they've got all these filters that say they're pure, and that they're you know, pure. This concept of pure means that it's basically coming right out of the ground. That's what pure is. What the filter is actually, it makes it clean. But the problem is it takes a lot of the natural nutrients and great stuff out of the water that your body really wants. So our goal was to go back at the source and figure out not only how to deliver that natural, you know, fresh, pure spring water right to you, and figure out what is lost normally, because it's not just the water. I mean, that component of everything that's around the source is what makes that water so special where it comes out. And that's where we figured out a purification process that's much more natural than the others. And in addition, that's one of the reasons why we add back in a touch of oxygen to give you a bit of that rainforest energy, that feeling that you feel when you're there sticking your hand in that spring. You know, it's everything there. It's not just the water, it's the whole package. So that was really my goal with the water component, was to make sure that we were delivering something that was absolutely had never been done. The closest, I don't know if you guys have it in the UK, but the closest, there is no product that is anywhere near there. You'd have to take like multiple products, and then you'd have to add Mother Nature in there, and, you know, the packaging and the whole thing. But two pieces of it would be, you know, some of the new electrolyte enhanced waters have some of those things, some of the components. Fiji's a big brand out there, so, you know, I don't know if you guys have Smart Water, you know, those type of brands. You basically add them all up and then add in Mother Nature, and you've got ours. Everyone that's tasted it today had just been blown away, and, you know, the combination of that with the packaging and everything we're doing, you know, seems to be a good fit. So
you say it's taken.
So you can stop me at any time.
You say it's taken 5 years. It's been a 5-year journey. So what's the journey been like for you over the last 5 years to get this product done?
Oh man, I mean, it's, you know, you're talking about something that nobody really, you know, there's a reason why there's not a lot of new stuff. Because a lot of people really don't want to see new stuff. And surprisingly enough, you know, I had my first kind of struggle with packaging guys who didn't believe that I could do, and I know nothing about packaging. I have no, you know, formal packaging background, but I went to a couple people who did, and it was like, you know, pulling teeth. Like, they just didn't want to do, you know, what it was. And I said, just try it, please, keep on going. And so we went through this whole process, and finally isn't it? And they're like, oh my God, you're right. And I was like, man, it just took a year of fighting to go through to get to. You're supposed to be the guys that want new stuff. You're supposed to be the guys that care about new stuff. So on the packaging side, we went through that. On the water side, I went through a bit of that. It's difficult because, you know, it's a beverage, it's a packaging thing, so there's competing folks that don't really want to see this happen. So, you know, I mean, the big boys have got a pretty good deal. You know, they've got a corner on the whole thing. Nobody's messing with them. You're doing all the recycling work. What do they have to do? They just sell you a boat. They bang it out. So they don't really want us to do this. At the same time, there's been a couple other people that don't think about the bigger kind of picture. It's strange because to me, I come from a place, I grew up in Northern California where the water is incredible. It's great water, you know, you can drink it out of the tap. And it's a choice. We have the luxury of a choice there. And it's a really enlightened area where everybody's, you know, every other 5 cars is a Tesla or something. You know, they know what's going on with the environment, but at the same time, a lot of those folks have never been outside that area. So they don't understand the reality like I live now in Houston, Texas. So until you live that reality, you don't understand that this is actually a major problem that people face on a daily basis. And we're the lucky ones. I'm here where I have access, you know, to go to a store and get water. But you go to developing countries and they don't have that. Then it takes up, you know, a big chunk of their day just trying to figure out how to get water that works, you know, that's safe. So, I mean, it hasn't been easy. It hasn't been easy, but the coolest thing about Kickstarter to me, and that's why I joined it 2 years ago, was that I think, and like I said earlier, the power of this product is when it's in people's hands. So for me, to get through those middlemen, to get through all the people that don't want it, is to put it in front of all of you guys and show you what this product can do. And really, I mean, because it was made for you. So to be able to connect with the end user on the other side, for us, it's really the power of Kickstarter. And that's the coolest thing. So, you know, we've managed to get, in the past 10 days, there's like 3,000 shares on Facebook. We've got, we were written up in Forbes, you know, a couple other really cool articles. We've got a bunch more stuff coming. It's been a bit of a learning process with the Kickstarter piece. You've got to really figure out kind of what you need to get to where you're going. And for all your folks that are listening and were thinking about doing a Kickstarter project, I mean, I had no idea. I backed a ton of projects before this. I had no idea what it would be like once you're in it. I mean, it's a whole nother animal.
What was it like doing the Kickstarter project, you know, actually creating the project on Kickstarter?
Well, we actually went and we had, I mean, I worked several months to have the page done, and actually, you know, it was a bit of a different page, and when we presented it to Kickstarter, they came back and said, it looks too good.
Really?
And I almost had a heart attack, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
And it's a bit of a one-way street. They don't really, it's not an open communication thing. It's kind of like they tell you, and then you've got to react and hope that you can react and, you know, do it the right way. So we redid the whole thing and sent it down the second time, which now I'm happier for, because it actually, I think, presents it in much more base kind of, hey, this is just the nitty gritty, this is what it's all about kind of approach. But that was a bit kind of crazy to go through, because I was like, you know, what do you do? And then the other part of it is figuring out what the sweet spot is, because they've got a lot of different rules and regulations that you can't do certain things. So you can't have multiples, there's a lot of certain products that are now not acceptable, there's a lot of little things that you really kind of affect how you do the rewards. There's a lot of things like for you guys in the UK, the whole idea behind our rewards was that we'll pay for the shipping in the United States, but somebody outside the United States can still back the project, and then we work it out after the fact. But it doesn't really communicate that on the page. It actually gives you an option of international or just United States or nothing.
Yeah.
And, so, I mean, how can you prepare for somebody like on the corner of Russia that wants to buy, you can't really just come up with a price that's going to ship these things all over the universe,
No.
So, there's a bit of these little quirks, but as far as once you flip the switch, it's just, it's like mayhem. It's like World War III. You've got to go and just be banging on people and responding and communicating in ways that it's actually, on the other hand, it's incredible, because for the first time you get to talk about your stuff. And that is the coolest thing for me, is that I get to talk to folks like you, and your guys, and be out there and really communicate what we're all about. They get to see for the first time, what we're trying to do. But on the other side, you've got to respond and engage with all these different people. And depending upon what it is, my emails went to a couple hundred, per day. And then if you're doing interviews, if you're doing other things, which that seems to be the magic sauce of it, is you've got to get it in front of as many eyes as you possibly can. And that's the way that it gets to a certain point, it reaches some sort of critical mass, and then it takes off. So I need all of your folks to jump on right now.
Indeed. And when they pledge, what kind of rewards can they get back?
We've got all sorts of different levels from, if they've only got a couple dollars, there's a $5 kind of mini swag sticker type of thing. We've got one of the things that I was determined with, that I felt after backing a bunch of projects, that I didn't, it seemed crazy to me that if you give $20, you just get some t-shirt, you don't get the actual thing. So I was determined to make sure that, if you spent that amount of money, you would get our thing. So you get a 2-pack of the water at $20, then at $50 it goes up to a 6-pack with a bunch of, other little swag added on. 95 seems to be a really popular one with 2 cases and some more swag. We just added in 2 new levels, which are really neat, which we're announcing today. One of them is for 1,000, and it includes, it's called our Ambassador Pack. It includes 10 cases and a whole package of swag, which comes in a backpack, which is actually a co-op thing that we're doing with another Kickstarter project that I backed. And they're kind of a cool company that does a one-for-one thing, where when you buy a backpack, they will give a backpack filled with school supplies to a kid in need around the world. So we're doing a partnership with them, which is pretty cool. That's the $1,000 one, and then we've got a $5,000 one, which is a co-branded pallet. So you can get your own pallet of water, an entire pallet, that you're co-branded with us. And then on the back, we've got a bunch of, because of the way our labels are designed, we have a bunch of real estate, so you can communicate, your environmental mission and why you're doing it and all the great stuff you're doing for the environment to your customers and staff, and basically swap out the water you're using for your own co-branded version. So those 2 are pretty neat. I think we'll kind of catch fire today. So
you've asked for 95,000. What are you going to be using the money for when you get it?
What we're going to do is we have to finish our bottle mold and the whole process to finalize that component. There's a couple pieces that come in the bottling world of things, so you not only have to do the actual mold that the bottle is blown in, but you have to do the other piece that they use to blow it with, which is called a preform thing. Then from there, after we do that component, then merchandise stuff and just really begin for the first time. I mean, after 5 years, this is, it's been me doing all this stuff here and there, and now finally we're gonna formally kind of introduce it and get the baseline stuff we need to open up the doors and start doing some business.
Well,
so
you must be very excited. Yeah, you must be very excited about it all.
It's really cool to finally. I mean, the response has been pretty neat, man. I mean, after I walked through, you read all these articles about entrepreneur guys or startup guys, and if you're trying to do something that nobody's really done, it's like quite often you feel like you're walking through the woods and jungle in the dark, half the time, and like some days are like, whoa, this is great, we're killing it, we're knocking the cover off the ball, and other days you're like, man, maybe I should just like, go get another job. Maybe I should rethink what I'm doing. But the coolest part about this has been the response has been so great. People are into it, and they've got it. They've got the vibe, the energy of the brand. We've got a couple other things that if we can catch fire with this and come out of the gates, I've got a really cool water for kids. That's a smaller bottle that actually comes with a way that they get a seed that they get to plant. So there's a whole environmental education thing that we've done that'll be really neat. And then after that, we've got some all-natural organic teas. And then we've actually got an energy drink because, I used to be in that end of the woods. And we've got some really cool stuff coming. So we just got to get out of the gates. We just need to,
Yeah.
It doesn't take much. I mean, we have 1,000 people at $95,
Oh yeah, no, it's an incredible thing when everything you've been working on has been coming together quite nicely and it's finally almost there.
Yeah, it definitely. I mean, it's good stuff, and it's been a great time. A lot of work, but hey, this is the good stuff,
Yeah, and where can people go to find out more about Treeson?
You can go to treesonspringwater.com. Right now, everything goes to Kickstarter. So we'll launch the rest of the website right after Kickstarter. But everything from treesonspringwater.com, or you can go to treeson.us. So it's TREESON.us. Or Treeson spelled the same way, springwater.com or treesonwater.com. You go to any. Type in Treeson, Springwater, and you'll find us.
You'll find plenty of URLs for you. Brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Carlton Solle, for talking to us about Treeson. And I hope it all goes very well for you.
Excellent. Thank you.
We're doing some really cool stuff, but it's even cooler if you can be a part of it every step of the way. With our app, you can track your bottles, get pictures in the GPS locations of your trees, and even watch them grow with our updates.